It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
It is high time that we
got to talk to Tony.
got on with Tony, either on his podcast or we have him on ours, for nothing else than just to ask, could he do what Shike does with his eyes closed and one hand behind his back?
There it is. First shot across the bow. Our good friend, Dan Shike.
Well, that idiot came at me on Twitter the other day.
And Steve.
I'd like to open up Hot Take Summer Memorial Day weekend, and I simply forgot.
I mean, why not? We've created rolling decades. 40 is late 30s.
Yes.
We do what we want on this podcast.
Yes. We're going to get a yearly, maybe a yearly drop-in from you this year?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll do it at the end of the summer, which is, as everyone knows, Thanksgiving.
Yes. That's right. 4th of July to Thanksgiving.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Thank you, Melissa. Melissa Vaughn, everybody. Feels like it's been a while. I know in terms of people listening, it hasn't. It's been exactly the same, but we haven't recorded in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, as to be expected, and it turns out that it has been a little more than 2 weeks. Or no, 2 weeks today.
Happy 2-week anniversary.
Oh my gosh,
the last
Steve,
time we recorded, can't be
missed
said
you.
enough.
It turns out Evelyn still treats me the same. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Outside of you and Annette, has she seen any person more than me?
Yeah, probably.
You think so?
I would say.
How old is she now? 5, 6?
She'll be 2.
Wow! Who would have thunk it?
2 in a couple of weeks.
Okay, so we're at about 100 weeks.
Yeah.
And I've been here, let's say, with the exception of 3-4 weeks. Well, no, I mean, whatever. Let's call it 90 weeks. I've seen her 90 to 100 times.
Yeah.
Where do you think I rank on the number of times, on the list of people who've seen her, number, straight quantity?
Frequency, it's you. It's got to be you. You're here on a regular basis.
Your mom,
my
mom, your in-laws.
But see, it's different though with my mom, because my mom has seen her a total of like 8 times, but it's been like
long spans,
a week and a half, 2 weeks, a week, couple of days.
Sure, it's more consistent.
Yeah, I mean the grandparents, obviously they're up there, but yeah, I mean you're probably pretty high up on the list.
In terms of the other people on that list and around me on that list.
Yeah.
Is she actively ignoring or terrified of any of those other people?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
I just wanted to get some clarity there because we've been working on the high. We've been working on a hello.
Yeah, because what happened today was I had texted you saying, how far out are you? Because Annette, we're going up to my in-laws' house later on today. So Annette she wanted to like take a quick shower. So I was like, if Kyle's more than like 15 minutes away, just go do it. If not, I'll just bring Evelyn downstairs with me. We don't start recording right away. We never start recording right away. I can count on 0 fingers the amount of times that we've sat down within like 2 minutes of you walking in the door to record. So she was still in the shower when you got here. Scooped up Evelyn. She immediately did the thing which I love, is the most lovable thing in the world to me, is when you pick up a child and they put their head down on your shoulder.
Right?
She really only does that when you're around. So yeah.
I feel like we've been working on the high for a year. I feel like we can call it a year.
It's at least 6 months.
And we just can't get there. We just can't knock that little wall down to where she gives a wave and a high. We've played peekaboo from afar because Lord knows we can't play that, within 6 feet.
Yeah.
Because then she has to rush to your or Annette's shoulder.
Yeah.
What can I do? Can I dress up as a character from what's a show she's into?
She's not into any shows.
Is there like a book, you read like you give a mouse a cookie?
Let's see. There's the Mommy and Daddy book that she really likes.
Okay. Because I'll tell you right now, if you came over to the house dressed up as the male duck which is the book you gave Reed as a gift a while ago.
Yeah, of course.
You'd receive rave
because
reviews.
of your love for the U.S. Postal Service.
We love that book, Steve. We read it all the time. If you came dressed as the male duck, and then if somebody else were the male quail, just another character in the book.
Of course.
Rave reviews. So what can I do right now to make this where a high isn't a burden, right?
Well, I think first and foremost, I need to put my kid in front of a TV more. Like experts say that. It's good to let the TV be the babysitter, yeah.
You're late. So I think you start with Scarface.
Let me tell you, she has zero interest.
Yeah.
Zero interest.
I think a lot of it's an attention span too, right? Because they're not cut out for definitely like a movie.
Right, yeah.
You know, outside of having it on and they like the colors and they like the shapes and whatever, because that's how Reed kind of became infatuated with a movie about an abominable snowman or a Yeti. Is he's still playing and we're running around. He's doing everything and under the sun while that's on, and he'll kind of tune in for a few seconds at a time and remember the shapes and the characters. So again, I think we start with the hard stuff.
The only thing that she likes watching on TV is the slideshow that pops up that is pictures of her.
The screen. Oh, so
the screensaver.
So pretty self-involved at a young age, right?
Yeah, and then she points and smiles and says "baby," and so I guess if you could somehow dress up as a picture of her,
okay. I mean, we're in a day and age now where nothing's impossible, right? No. So we'll have to get a hold of a costume shop.
Just get a T-shirt with a picture of her on it.
Ooh, that'd be a big win, wouldn't it?
She'd like that. She would like that.
Lucky for us, we got one of those spare garbage shirts you've been trying to pawn off on me for a year and a half, right? Which, by the way, lovely gift. I'll take it home today.
No, I don't.
We just, scrape off the one crappy logo.
And slap a picture of Evelyn
and then
there.
we throw into the cricket gun or whatever it is, and
pew, pew.
And zap a picture of Evelyn onto it, right?
That's how it works. It's exactly how it works.
Beautiful. I'm going to be her favorite guest as of next week.
Yeah.
Just need to get that shirt in advance.
But yeah, so my wife was still in the shower when you got here, so we brought Evelyn downstairs with us, and I set her down on the floor, and she basically stood in the same spot.
Did not move an inch. I had to then go over and pick her up, sit her on my lap while we just BS'd for a couple minutes while my wife was getting ready. Do you think, because now we have two dogs. One of our dogs is a wiener dog who is just will love you. He'll bark at you, but he's barking at you if you stop petting him type of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one, we actively tell people who haven't come over before, hey, just ignore her. Ignore her entirely. Yep. We promise you she won't bite you out of no reason for this. But after about 15 minutes, if you just ignore her, she'll sniff you. Next thing you know, she won't want to leave you alone. Do you think I should take that approach with Evelyn to where I walk in and we just ignore it all? Maybe there's a pressure thing going on to where because Annette will say, "Can you say hi?" Then you chime in. I start saying hi. Yeah. So it's like all eyes are on her. You know, next thing you know, you got Lola or Toby sniffing around. They're excited to see me because they're great dogs.
I like the ignorance approach.
You think
just ignore.
So next week Monday, I'll be here, and I'll walk in, say hi, Steve.
Maybe flip her off.
Say hi to Annette. Give her the what's the old fashioned you used to do in school so you wouldn't get in trouble. What was the old FU?
Yeah. Give her the cold shoulder. Give her the FU.
Yeah. If she comes around me, I'll actively turn around. I'll be like a rotisserie.
Maybe insult her.
Yeah. To her face. No, yeah. Oh, look at you, almost two, so dumb. Nice diaper.
Can't even say 3-word sentences.
Drool. I'm Evelyn. Maybe we have Annette out of the room for that part. I don't want her to take.
Well, if she's in the room, I'll at least give her a heads up.
Yeah. So hey, Cal's going to come in. We're going to ignore her, and if he decides to take a different approach, we're directly going to insult our not quite 2-year-old daughter.
Cool.
Just so you know, going to be probably mocked about being short. Can't walk straight.
Yeah.
Drooling.
Yeah. Poop your pants.
Oh, nice job. You don't even have all your teeth.
It is Saturday, August 28th, 2021, the year of our Lord, the Steve and Kyle podcast.
And boy, are we running late.
We are running way late. This is going to be a brisk...
Let's talk about it.
Brisk 30 to 45, I think.
Let's talk about it. You've got a heart out. That's on me today.
Mm-hmm.
I had to drop my son off for a little further away to be watched while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there.
But it was this is all for good reason.
Yes.
The effort was being made to record I don't know, we normally try to start like 10:30, but a little extra happening today, as I'm sure you had the same feeling I had last night when you opened up your little note, like podcast note on your phone or on your computer, and you saw, ooh, we're supposed to do a couple things today.
Well, we teased it, and now granted, for us it was 2 weeks ago, but that's no excuse.
But a lot of people are tuning in for this.
I've been actively looking, and I talked about it. It's in my top 3 apples. The Cosmic Crisp.
Now, look, I have... Well, I won't spoil anything. Go ahead.
I've been looking, and I told you this was 2 weeks ago. I couldn't find them anywhere, Steve. So I had a friend who actually did find them, but it was like the middle of, not this week, but the previous week. So I said... I don't want to get those and have them sit for 10 days and then they're bad. That's not the way you want to do it. If they're where you found them now, I'm sure they'll be there in a week.
Yeah.
They weren't. So this morning I dropped Reed off. I made a quick zip over to the large grocery store in the area away from my house, so it's a place I hadn't been before.
The new one.
Yes.
The newish one at this point.
Walked over there. Nothing. I walked up and down the
Not
apple
a
row.
Cosmic Crisp to be
Not
seen.
a Cosmic. And I couldn't, some of these names are apples that I enjoy and I want to try. The Rave apple, the Envy apple, great apples. Pink Ladies, Granny Smith.
I've heard good things about the Pink Lady.
Good apple, Steve. And we'll talk about all that on episode 2 of Apples to Apples. Coming to your podcast feed soon.
Wouldn't it be a bummer if we actually launched Apples to Apples and it was a huge success?
Like, that's what did it?
Within a day, it had like 500,000 downloads.
I actually don't think it's a bad sidecast for us. Because it's a limited run, right?
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
maybe,
there's a ton of apples. But I think every week we'd pick 2 apples at random.
Line them up.
Just 2 apples. 2 flavors a week.
It's like Hot Ones.
Yes.
That is an entire show about eating wings and just answering questions.
Like this week we've got the Brayburn, and then on the other side we've got the Red Delicious classic against a new form apple, and then we both take a chomp and we talk about it. We talk about the flavor, the what our palate's experiencing.
Yeah, maybe mix in a question about like, oh, where'd you grow up? You know, just like the little stuff. So it's
we could quickly discuss some of the history of the apple. I think Apples to Apples is our claim to fame. I think you want to do the one this fall? Maybe just one like a trial episode?
It would be. If any time is right for it, it's the fall.
Change the RSS feed for 1 week to like our artwork and everything is the Apples to Apples logo. Do we have to go on Fiverr for an apple?
Now, if anybody could throw together a quick Apples to Apples logo, high resolution, of course, square dimensionally.
I'm thinking 2 apples almost in like a, when you see NFL Sunday and the 2 helmets lift off and they get lightning bolts and then they smash together.
Yeah. But it's Apples to Apples, but the 2 is the Roman numeral 2, like Boys to Men.
Yes. Apples.
We
want
to show that we're in a growth period.
Yeah. Make sure. Let's just leave the apples the same color, same shape.
I was thinking a red one on the left and a Granny Smith on the right.
Oh, so now we're racist. We're pitting 2 apple races against each other.
If anything, I feel like it's more inclusive.
Setting up in a fight. I just don't want to dance with any political correctness issues.
I'm going to keep this on the straight and narrow.
This is about nothing other than apples.
Yeah.
So Steve, I think we do this. But I don't think we're going to announce it. So I think 1 week.
Didn't we just announce it?
Well, we're not when it's going to be. So people are going to download the podcast on a Tuesday, and they're going to say this is different, and there's going to be a different theme song. There's going to be.
I wonder if there are any.
You and I are going to have to bring back, or not bring back, but maybe change up our cadence a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Because we have to be formal Apples to Apples hosts.
Apple connoisseurs.
Yes. Yeah. Welcome. This is Kyle from this week's episode of Apples to Apples, alongside my co-host as every other episode of Apples to Apples, Steven.
Why, hello, Kyle. Thank you for
And you have to go by
introducing
Steven.
me. Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right. Just a quick idea. Just spitballing here. Instead of calling them episodes, we call them applesodes.
Oh, my God. Hang up the headphones. It's done. It's done. Applesode 1.
I mean, we got to do it.
So at some point in the next, I'd say 6 to 8 weeks, during fall, your podcast feed on a Tuesday morning will be, you'll download it the same, but it will be replaced by an unannounced episode of Apples to Apples, Applesode 1, where Steve, you and I will taste test and compare 2 apples at random. I almost think the way we do this, too, is you go to a store, you buy an apple.
Blind test. I love it.
Now, granted, there's a % chance you and I arrive with the same apple.
No, I think what we do is we just come up with a list of all apples known to man.
Okay. Should be easy.
Split it right down the middle.
What is there, 8 to 10?
Yeah. Split it right down the middle. Mm-hmm. You don't go off of my list. I don't go off of your list.
This is so brilliant.
I can't wait.
Like, I want to do this next week and then the week after. I actually don't want to do this podcast anymore.
After like 280 episodes or so, we finally figured out what our niche is going to be. And it's just going to be taste tests.
How long do you have a music bed for? Because maybe we could just boot this episode out of the way. Get all this garble of however many minutes gone. And you and I can each run to a different store, go grab apples, and just start this charade today.
I got a couple upstairs. I have two different ones upstairs. Our fruit drawer in the fridge always filled with apples. In fact, I was in a bit of an apple slump last week.
As in tired of apples, or?
No, not at all. Not at all. But Annette normally buys, like, we'll go to the grocery store on a Sunday. We'll buy 2 bags of apples. One is typically the Honey Crisp, which I pretty much eat, and one is the Fuji or the Gala, which she pretty much eats. And she came back from the store, put my bag of apples into the drawer, but realized I still hadn't touched the previous week's bag of apples. Because I really got into a strawberry, blueberry.
So you're on like an apple clock, though.
Raspberry pear kick. Oranges. The oranges were great last week. So I was behind. So I made up for it by eating like 3 apples a day for the next 4 days.
That's what so you're on like an apple clock
to get me back on track. I can't let them go to waste.
Yeah. So you see that next bag come in, you're like, oh no, I'm behind on apples now.
I'm behind. So we went on a walk yesterday when I got home from work. I ate an apple while walking. I was just chomping away on an apple. That's not really a walking food.
No. Well, no, it kind of is. It's one hand.
Yeah.
It's the dive-in mentality. It's almost if you I'll put it on the poll. Is the apple a good walking around food?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I've been diving in for the last 2 weeks.
Welcome aboard.
I love the cut.
I love the
Don't
slices.
get me wrong. I love the cut.
Especially if you've got a dip, whether it's a fruit dip or a caramel type dip. And I know, on your diet that's not
maybe a
standard,
little bit of cinnamon. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, but that doesn't. See, you mix in the cinnamon, that doesn't work as a walking around snack because I'm not going to be walking around the neighborhood with an apple in my left hand,
no question,
and cinnamon in my right hand, taking a bite, and then let me just. Then I look like a little Tommy Edo.
Oh, no question.
Putting salt
on your hard-boiled eggs. Oh, God.
I mean, we should be saving this all.
For Apples to Apples.
For the inaugural Applesode.
Yeah. Inaugural. Oh. So that will happen. I am 100% positive that you and I are going to be recording Apples to Apples in the next 6 weeks. No question.
And unlike when we started this podcast, when we said we're not going to call it episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, we are specifically calling it Applesode 1 because
absolutely.
I don't think anyone else finds this even remotely entertaining.
Oh, people are going to be tuning in by the draw. I mean, we're going to have Apple newbies all the way up to Apple snobs. Yeah. We're going to need an Apple thermometer.
So all of our tags, because when you post a podcast, you put different tags to talk, political or music or whatever, so you can get into the algorithm so people find your stuff based on what their search is. It's just going to be a list of different apples. Granny Smith, Red Delicious, Honey Crisp, Fuji, Cosmic Crisp.
I think we start doing that now. Like start kind of integrating all of our tags to start including Apple, so that way we start getting maybe a small influx of Apple people, and then when we release the inaugural Applesode, boom, we're bursting out of the gates.
I'm already thinking of a spinoff of this.
Of the spinoff.
Mm-hmm. About pears. And then we could have Ep-Pearsode 1. Have we found it? Have we figured it out?
The only thing standing in the way of this is honestly this podcast. Right? I mean,
yeah.
Because once you start navigating when we have to do an Ep-Pearsode or an Applesode, you start losing what we're doing here, which is totally fine. This thing's been dead for 100 episodes.
Yeah, no problem. We've talked at great length about how we want to end this.
We now just transition to a straight fruit-based podcast structure.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis.
The hardest part is going to be coming up with the puns
for every different fruit.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have a lemon sode. And really, are there any other varieties of lemon other than lemon?
I don't know. Put it on the poll.
Yeah. Are there any other? Because, we may be kind of stuck here with apples and pears.
Yeah.
Applesodes and
Applesode and Ep-Pearsodes.
Ep-Pearsodes. So anyway, I was looking around for these Cosmic Crisp again.
But we
digress, of course.
Yeah, we really need to digress a little quicker based on what's sitting on the table in front of us.
I was looking around for these apples. Long digression, shorter. 4 stores this morning, in addition to the 3 stores I'd gone to 2 weeks prior. Still no Cosmic Crisp in my vicinity. So again, if you're in West Michigan, wherever, if you find these in the grocery store, please, for the love of God, message us, buy some. Yeah. Let's figure out a way to get us these apples.
Can we order them online or something?
Oh, yeah, Steve, I'm glad you asked, because I have looked at buying us some Cosmic Crisp apples.
Okay. They can't, because you can order, I don't know, we get groceries all the time online. You can order the crate of Florida oranges or grapefruit. We get Annette's parents do that from time to time.
Yeah.
They go down to Florida every now and then, and they'll always ship us a crate of oranges or delicious fruit.
Yeah, I could have these here in as little as 3 days.
Oh, good. Why don't we just do that?
How many apples do you think we need?
If they're as good as you say they are, I just want a kind of a constant supply of them.
Oh, so you're thinking like a subscription service almost.
I mean, if I could get 5 a week, I'd be happy.
Okay.
Typically, I do 1 a day during the week.
Sure. So so if we just knock out 8.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't a subscription service, but this is a company that ships you fruit. It looks like as a gift. So, by the way, if anybody ever sends me a fruit box as a gift, I'm sending it back. Return to sender.
I'd like it.
I like fruit. It does
kind of put you under the gun, though.
Yes. Is it weird to give a perishable as a gift?
I guess it depends on the quantity.
Right. So if you send me a honest to God fruit basket with 8 apples, a handful of oranges, vines of grapes, whatever else could be in a fruit bag. I guess I don't really know what's in a fruit basket, and then a cantaloupe in the back. I feel like I'm under pressure.
What about just 3? If I were to,
that's a good number.
Say we exchanged gifts at the solstice season, and I brought you a little box. You opened it up, and it just had 2 apples and a pear in it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's biblical times stuff. That's what they would exchange as gifts back in Jerusalem.
Just fruits in the quantity of 3.
Right. Nobody was ever happy with what they got because I gave you 3 pears, but in exchange I got 3 pears.
Yeah, 3 pears grown on the other side of the village, where the weather is exactly the same. Everybody's just waiting for the one kid to carve them a head the shape of a face on the top of a stick. That's now the go-to gift. God, gifts had to suck, right? No Amazon.
Terrible.
You're getting sticks and pears. So, Steve, I did find an outlet for us.
Okay.
And by the way, 4.55 out of 5 stars based on
good.
94 reviews. I'm telling you, this apple is not going to disappoint. And it's a Pacific Northwest Washington State exclusive.
Okay.
So
so it's coming. Okay, so it's probably going to be a couple bucks to ship it, but that's all right. I mean, that's the world we live in.
All right, 8 apples.
Yes.
Add that to the cart. Okay. What do you think is a reasonable per apple price you'd be willing to pay for this apple?
If I go to the store and I buy the 3-pound bag of apples, what are they, like $5?
Mm-hmm.
And that typically has 7 or 8 apples in it. So I'd be surprised if, all right, so say it's $6. All right, let's say hypothetically, instead of $6, they're going to charge you $9 because it's an exclusive thing.
Right, it's hard to get.
Probably from Washington, I don't know, $7-8 shipping. Under $20. Okay. If I'm paying more than $20. And that I'm willing to pay.
So approximately
for the experience.
For 8 of these apples, 8 of these Cosmic Crisp apples, from this company willing to send them to us, I can get you out the door for this low, low price of $9.
Oh, that's
per
awesome.
apple.
Okay, so it's about
$72.
Huh.
So I think for the time being,
that's a good apple, though.
Maybe.
Have you ever had a $9 apple?
No, and boy, is that kind of like what people say? What it's like wine or champagne? Because you can have a $6 bottle of champagne and we're like, hey, not my favorite.
Or those big tomahawk steaks
yes.
that you see where they're a couple $100. Huh.
I think for the time being, maybe we just continue to look into our local avenues.
Look,
and maybe have our listening audience here who also eats food.
Hey, any food eaters out there?
Hey, all you food fans. Let me start over. Hey, all you food fanatics. Are you at the grocery store?
Tired of eating the same old-fashioned apple?
Maybe you're listening to us while you're shopping. Do us a favor. Head on over to that produce section. Check out for a Cosmic Crisp apple. Is it less than $9?
Per apple.
We'd love to have a chat with you about that. I think that's going to be our best avenue. So the Cosmic Crisp taste test is on hold for apologies the second time in a row. I just can't find them. I promise you I'm trying. So again, if anybody has seen those in the store near them, let us know if you can get them to us in any safe fashion, or again, preferably if you're in West Michigan and you see them, find us, let us know at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where you saw them, and I will go over there and buy a bundle so we have them ready for next episode that we're recording.
But we digress.
So that was one of 3 taste tests we discussed a week ago.
Now my wife
made the claim.
Yeah.
About a certain chocolate milk.
Oh, yeah. Now, I didn't get the... I should have gotten the competition as well.
I thought about bringing it, but I forgot.
I didn't. I made the claim last week, or the week before, whenever it was, that the far superior chocolate milk product was the Nestle Quick powder put into milk, because it completely dilutes. It gives you an even drinking experience, whereas the Hershey syrup, it leaves chunks. Mm-hmm. So you kind of get the swirl. No matter how much you stir it, you always get the swirl.
It doesn't dissolve into the milk like a powder does. So I do just want to be clear. Where do you rank the powder in comparison to your regular half gallon of pre-made chocolate milk that you're buying, like the the Country Fresh?
I think it's superior
to it. Whoa,
because you
that
have
would have been the true taste test.
Complete creative control. You want it to
want
it to be a little more milky.
Yeah.
Just put in a little less. You want it to be stronger? Another scoop of the powder.
The chocolate world is at your milk fingertips.
Yeah,
in this
that's
discussion.
a good way to put it.
So
my wife was out at the store this morning earlier, and you had texted saying you were stopping at the store looking for apples. So I really quickly shot her a text and said, "Hey, swing down the Quick aisle and pick up the smallest container of Nestle Quick you can find, because I don't plan on making this a regular thing."
But wait till little Evelyn tastes it.
I know.
She's never going to. I'll tell you right now.
The plan is to send you home with this.
The last time Reed has had white milk, it's been 8 months.
Okay.
We just don't drink it anymore because he doesn't love milk. So we have chocolate milk as kind of his treat before bed. He loves it.
So we picked this up, or she picked this up. She fired back a text real quick and said, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
They have massive containers or strawberry.
Yeah, we're going to need to have a talk.
Like, oh, God. What am I, like an idiot? Yeah. Poverty people drink strawberry milk.
Only.
Cue the pictures being posted on Tuesday morning of somebody drinking their strawberry milk while listening to our podcast.
They'll already know because it's on the poll. Do only idiots and slobs drink strawberry milk?
So here we have a brand new 20-ounce container, Nestle Quick.
There's a strawberry cow or something. How stupid are they?
The classic taste is back. Oh. I don't have to tell you.
Well, thank goodness. Did they have like a new Coke moment where they decided to get rid of the classic Nesquik powder and did they receive some backlash?
So we now have 2 glasses of whole milk that have been sitting here about 45 minutes.
Still chilled.
Okay.
Still chilled. Now, whole milk is a parent staple because once the children are off of either breast milk or formula, whole milk still has all of the stuff they need in terms of they need that extra fat and everything that's in there, assuming they actually drink it. So
I think that's too much.
I would argue that's too much. What is the serving recommendation on the back, Steve?
Probably if I had to guess, I'm going to say 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons.
Okay, so
2 tablespoons of Quick for 8 fluid ounces of milk.
So we're over 8.
Yeah, yours is probably closer to 10 to 12.
Yeah, I would guess that's probably 11 ounces is a good estimate,
there we
Steve.
go.
Thank
mine's
you.
Probably just under. I bet mine's 7.
Yeah, do I have an Andre the Giant hand, or is your okay? My cup is bigger than yours.
I poured yours first, and nearly gagged while watching it because it's a whole milk, so it looks like coffee creamer.
Sorry, just getting
an action shot. Do you want to? Oh, can you do like a boomerang?
How do you do that? What is that?
That's the it's like the short video clip, but it reverses. So like if I'm drinking and then I'm not drinking, then I'm drinking, then I'm not drinking.
Steve, I got to tell you,
I believe it's in. If you go into Instagram, it's.
Is that anything near panorama on my camera? Is that an Instagram exclusive? Is that what you're saying?
I know that there are different photo apps that'll do the.
You know what? Let me just stick with the tried and true.
All right,
photo.
So you're doing. So I'm giving you. Is that's about a tablespoon, right?
I would argue it's probably more than a tablespoon, but that's fine. That's
look at that.
Oh, look at it just sink too.
And then here, I'll give you maybe that.
Yeah,
that'll be 2.
Listen, in my world, Steve, there can never be too much chocolate in the chocolate milk.
Okay, I'm gonna do mine now.
Oh, that's a good amount right there. That's
see, because I have to obviously scoop first, mix later, because you don't want to be sticking your milk spoon.
So now we did go this way. Now you pre-poured. Now normally, Steve, if you're making this, you said you haven't done it in forever. Mm-hmm. Hey, would you do powder first? Then that's a lot of powder you dumped in that tiny glass. Would you go powder first, then milk, or would you go milk and then powder on top for the mix?
I did. I always enjoyed doing the powder first and then pouring the milk on and watching it like bubble up as it penetrated through the milk or the powder.
That's a good mix. That chocolatey. Oh, look at that coloring, Steve. And again, you'll get more of this type of discussion and adjective use on Apples to Apples, Applesode 1.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could do a chocolate milk episode. Call it like Quick or Quack. Like, is it Quick or is it just some Quack knockoff?
Yeah.
Quick or Quack.
Quick or Quack.
Okay, mine's all done.
That is a nice coloring, Steve.
I don't want to take the joy. I scooped for you. I should have asked you, but I don't want to take the joy.
I trust your scoop.
Here you go, by the way.
Because
it's dribbling all down the side of the glass. I think it. Yeah.
Give that thing a nice stir. Watch the coloring change on that. And you're right. That powder is dissolving, Steve. I'm not going to worry about. I don't have to worry about
a little chunk down in this. Yeah. Down in the bottom.
You
here
can
on
see
this side.
you can see the powder as it swirls.
That might be the most perfect.
Okay.
Now let's set both of them right in front of the. We got to do some product placement, so we can.
Oh my God! Are we about to get a gift pack?
Take a couple pictures
of Nesquik powder.
Okay.
So, I think you're going to be correct on the difference between this and the Hershey's.
Can you move the non-sponsored product out of the picture?
The people who aren't going to pay us.
I don't know. No, that one can stay in because this is it's a good little. Description of what we're doing here on the podcast.
So we're just a taste test podcast now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All right, Steve, let's...
Hey. Cheers. My God, that's amazing.
That's very good. I do have a take for you, though.
What do you got?
I do think the gallons that you buy of the pre-made from the chocolate cows.
Yeah.
I do think they're better.
Oh. Looks like Quick or Quack has ended.
Or is that the next episode?
I don't think you have enough in yours.
The coloring is different.
Yeah, because
mine's a little lighter.
I put the same amount in, yet you had...
and you know what?
Just give it a little pour.
Yeah, it's a little touch-up. Perfect. Just so it's a quick touch-up.
Let's see how your review changes. A little bit more.
Get all the powder out of there. Yeah. This is what the people tune in for. Give it a nice stir. Definitely change that coloring a little bit.
Let's see if they're a little more comparable. Oh, there we go. Hey, cheers.
Quick or Quack taste test 2. Oh, that's very good.
That's good, right?
It's very good.
You want to?
The question is,
do you want to take back anything you may have said?
I think it's worth further comparison to compare the Nesquik powder to a gallon of chocolate milk.
Well, it looks like we got a second episode of Quick or Quack.
Quack, quack.
Right.
The duck.
Then in the third episode, we will compare Nesquik to a duck.
Just an actual duck. We'll roast her up. You roast a duck?
I'm sure you can.
Put that in the poll as well. Do you roast a duck? How do companies do this? Because the Kraft mac and cheese with the powdered cheese is the superior mac and cheese.
It's amazing.
It's been the constant for forever, right? Yeah. Whereas if you want to do it with real cheese, you have to make sure like the cheese doesn't kind of dissolve, and you've got to do it with like evaporated milk to make sure it stays. A nightmare. You know what I have to? You know what I don't have to do with the gold standard, the Kraft, any of that.
Anything. Yeah.
I put the powder in it. I put the milk. I put the butter in it. Boom! I've got a delicious meal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't argue with that. I don't know what they do to it. It's the same as anything, though. Why do McDonald's hamburgers taste so good, even though they're so not good?
Right. It's the same. Yeah, and it's so consistent. You know what I don't have to worry about? My hamburger at McDonald's being undercooked.
Right.
Or different ever in shape, taste, variety. Kudos, Nesquik.
Pretty
nice
good.
effort.
Hey. Cheers.
That's been the inaugural episode of Quick
or Quack.
Quack, quack. I also did bring. I brought another.
This is not funny.
Treat.
We know. I just want people to know that we're aware.
Understand what we understand.
That this is not good. This is garbage. We got a little time to fill on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
We choose to do it in a ridiculous way.
I'm so sorry we can't come with the hot-hitting commercial break interview every single week.
Yeah.
We tried. We did interviews for 4 weeks straight.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm mad at right now. This hasn't been released yet. Nobody's mad at us yet, but I'm just assuming, so I'll just be mad at the whole of things, which isn't that hard for me to do. So I don't know why you're mad at us.
Yeah.
For just trying to give you something a little different every week.
Look, not every podcast can interview the celebs.
Right.
Some of them just need to help you get through your daily life. That's what we're doing.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You now know, as it's almost a flashback, because I would guarantee you and I aren't the only adults who have fallen by the wayside of Nesquik powder.
Yeah.
Because that's something that we've talked about. I mentioned it alongside fruit snacks when we talked about this initially. It's something that, unless you actively like, hey, I want fruit snacks as an adult, they just kind of don't get included on your shopping list.
Right.
Until you have a child, and the next thing you know, hey, maybe they're back in the fray, right? And then you realize these were never not good. I just stopped buying them because as an adult, you feel a little bit odd about sitting in your work break room, cracking open a pouch of Gushers. Or
I wouldn't.
Or unrolling a fruit roll-up.
I gotta say, that whole milk is really
sitting with you a little
really
wrong.
giving me some indigestion. So,
a couple of weeks ago, I also tweeted out, Steve, that the EL Fudge, the standard EL Fudge sandwich cookie, is a tier 1 cookie in any cookie bracket ever.
So that is the cookie shaped like. Was his name Ernie?
It's Ernie the Elf, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Ernie
right
the
there.
Elf.
Ernie the Elf.
So at one of my 4 visits to grocery stores this morning, I thought, I've got to do it.
I have to critique you. I believe you called it a sandwich cookie.
It is a sandwich cookie.
It is an Elfwich cookie.
Oh, my God. I'm embarrassed now. My apologies to Keebler. More importantly, to Ernie and his family. By the way, isn't this a little sadistic? The idea behind this cookie, Steve, is that Ernie and all the other elves are making cookies that look like them for people to eat.
Right. Yeah. It's a little weird.
Inherently, the slave labor elves are being forced to make replicas of themselves for human consumption.
To be eaten. Yeah.
Horrifying.
That's all right, though, because we're here to do it. Look, we're here to answer the hard questions.
Yeah, my tweet was, the EL Fudge is the number 1 overall seed in any cookie tournament and is undefeated, never lost.
Did we do it?
Just a little throwback, by the way, there to LeVar Ball from 5 years ago. This is what spurred my argument with Dan Scheich a few weeks ago. Because that idiot was busy slandering the EL Fudge cookie, claimed he's a Chips Ahoy fan, and then put Nutter Butters behind there.
Look, I love Chips Ahoy. I love Nutter Butters. But the moment is here to find out.
I'm so now. I want you, Steve. I don't know the last time you had an EL Fudge cookie.
It's been years, but I know exactly how to eat it.
Please attack
I know exactly
it at will.
how to eat it.
So there's so many options. You
pop it
split
apart.
Yep.
All right. So there we go. Setting that one down.
You're taking the chocolate slice right off of there.
Peeling the chocolate out. Although for this one, I think I'm gonna do it at. I just dropped half my chocolate on the carpet.
So because it's almost like I think Oreo did commercials for their garbage cookie based on this earlier, where they would, how do you eat an Oreo? And it's spin it so the cream is on one half of the cookie, then you either eat the cream alone.
By the way, I'm like an infomercial character right now. You know how they always have like tired of doing it the old-fashioned way, and it, like somebody ends up with a bucket on their head and like peeing their pants for no reason. That is me trying to eat a cookie. I've already dropped half of it on the floor. Then when I picked it up and tried to put it back together, I broke the cookie in half into like 3 different pieces. All right.
There's so many ways to attack this. So you've chosen right now, separate.
Don't judge me by what I've done.
In general, Steve has separated the sandwich portion, the cookie portion, and you're going to have half cracker, half chocolate instead of 2 crackers.
Right. Cheers.
Cheers to the cookie. EL Fudge taste test. You need to wash it down. You got some chocolate milk right there. Oh, no.
In a world where change is constant, things are constantly being updated, constantly being revamped, retooled, reintroduced,
rebranded,
rearranged. It's good to know that the fine folks at Keebler, over the years, they haven't succumbed to the pressure of changing. They figured out what was good about 35 years ago and said, time to set it on autopilot. Print these things until the day we die.
Right. Set up the mint to continue to print the exact same thing every time. Oh. It's the butter cookie that does it for me because it's such a nice flavor comparison with that chocolate, Steve, that I love it just alone.
Oh, by the way, I guess there are different named elves because I'm eating Elwood right now.
Oh, no. Do I have Buckets? Oh, Buckets seems like the idiot elf.
Buckets?
Probably got one L or one I. I can't spell his own name. Buckets the elf. Four-fingered idiot.
Look, I will not tolerate any negative things being said about the elves.
Introduced in 1987, Steve, by Keebler Company. So, yeah, you're right. 34 years. They decided this is the gold mine. We'll continue to mine this gold.
I'm assuming that the Wikipedia entry is the shortest. It just says, introduced in 1987, unchanged since. Minor tweaks to packaging.
The company describes their shape as elfin, though it is actually various elves identified with a name tag. Again, I've got Buckets the idiot with one eye, can't spell his own name. So hopefully this cookie tastes the same as the other delicious ones.
There? What's it say on the back?
Uncommonly made,
which
I believe is a slogan.
On the back of every cookie?
Oh, take a dive.
Look at that. Oh, dunk head first.
Hey. Well, hey.
Don't mind if I do.
I'm going to attack this cookie, though, Steve. No, granted, I don't need to taste this. I already know how delectable it is. I'm going to attack it with no alterations. So we're talking the 2 butter cookie.
Sorry, I can't hear you over a crunch.
Oh, my God.
Just wait until apples to apples.
I've never wanted to find someone and pull them down by their stupid head of hair like I have Dan Scheich right now for claiming that this wasn't a top-tier cookie. Oh, that butter hits you at the end after you've eaten the chocolate. Folks, let me tell you, if you haven't had an EL fudge sandwich cookie recently,
you're an idiot.
Do yourself a favor and stop being so stupid and go to the store today. And while you're there, if you happen to find a Cosmic Crisp apple, send us a message at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I think it's a good place to wrap this up.
Oh, it's delicious, man. I don't even know if my wife will see these tonight. They're going to all be gone.
That's right, folks. A 49-minute episode where we drank chocolate milk and ate a cookie.
Not everybody can deliver that type of content. Oh, that's a lot of calories for 2 cookies.
How many?
170.
For 2?
For 2 cookies.
Okay.
Wow. A lot of sugar. Well, you know what's that in the face of deliciousness.
But I like how on the front it no doubt has those claims of like has minerals or something like that.
We rub stones on them before we send them out to make them better for your chakra.
Naturally flavored with other natural flavors.
Yeah. No, that adds up.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Steve and Kyle. If you have any hot takes on cookies.
Yes. Polls.
Chocolate milk.
Polls are up on Twitter. Again, Facebook. We lost cooperation after 6 weeks.
That's it, folks. We'll talk to you next week.